In my younger years, this was my reality. I was a shut-in. But how did I get here? It started in a school in a small town just outside of Boston. I dreaded middle school. It felt like a dark forest where survival of the fittest ruled, and I definitely wasn't the fittest. Every day, I was hypervigilant, constantly anticipating the next confrontation. But the stress didn't end when school was over. As I moved through middle school and into college, I kept up a facade, weighed down by constant comparisons from family and peers. Every action I took, every way I looked or presented myself, felt scrutinized and judged. Eventually, the weight of the outside world became too much to bear. I wore a mask throughout the day, only taking it off in my safest space, my room. But even there, the weight followed me. The powerlessness I felt in my reality fueled a cycle of despair. My days became a routine. School, games, anime, eat, sleep, repeat. I coped by playing endless rounds of Rumble Fighter online, catching up on old episodes of Bleach, and watching YouTube in its infancy. I fought hard in these games and immersed myself in action-packed shonen anime, filling the void left by my inability to fight for myself in real life. But the void only grew larger. As life degraded, I sank deeper into self-loathing. The troubles I faced externally festered inside me, dragging my self-worth down. When you feel worthless, you don't want to be seen. Your room becomes your refuge. Toxic shame keeps you trapped. With these negative emotions, reaching out for help feels impossible. You start to believe you're not worth saving. Even when help is offered, whether from peers or professionals, you doubt it. You question whether you deserve to take up someone else's time and energy. A year passes, then another, and another. Where did that time go? So, how do we break the cycle of despair and isolation? Escaping requires self-awareness, the ability to distinguish what we can and cannot change. We can't control how others treat us, how society perceives us, or the economic pressures that weigh us down. But we can change our environment. Isolation might feel safe in the short term, but in the long run, it robs us of experiences we could have had. Of course, taking action is easier said than done. If you had asked me back then to do something to improve my life, I would have resisted. People meant well, but I was so deep in my own darkness that I couldn't believe change was possible. I don't expect anyone to change overnight, but even the smallest step can make a difference, no matter how suffocating things feel. And for me, the first step was dreaming. Just for a moment, imagine an ideal life for yourself. Take out a pen and paper and write it down. It might seem silly, wishful, or even pointless, but that's exactly why it's powerful. In the depths of despair, allowing yourself to dream, even briefly, creates a spark. It plants the seed of hope. This isn't the only path forward, of course. There are many layers to healing. Therapy, support, and practical steps are all crucial. But when isolation has taken a hold of you, every option should be on the table. The most important thing is overcoming that initial inertia. Because once you get the ball rolling, change is possible. When you're a shut-in, hope feels non-existent. But if you take the time to know yourself and dream about what you truly want, no matter how much self-doubt lingers, I believe you can overcome it. So take out a pen and paper and dream. Even if it feels silly, keep going. We all have different reasons for shutting ourselves away. I don't expect you to change overnight, but if you can spark even a sliver of hope within yourself, I hope you'll come to see this as just a phase. Healing isn't a smooth journey. There's grief for the time lost, experiences that could have been, relationships that never formed, and untapped potential. I felt that grief too. But we all start somewhere, and this is just the start. This is part of the process. Let's all touch grass together.